lights, cameras in my face. Hands on the stand, trying to plead her case. Said it was love, but it smelled like a scheme. Trading a husband for a teenage dream. Hands on trial, scandals burning hot. Teacher with a plan, but she got caught. Hands on trial, verdict in the air. Justice is coming, better say your prayer. Hands on trial. Whispers loud, jury's taking notes. Star witness kids in their Sunday coats. Bang of a gavel, lies start to crawl. She wanted romance, he ended it all. Hands on trial, scandals burning hot. Teacher with a plan, but she got caught. Hands on trial, verdict in the air. Justice is coming, better say your prayer.
What is up? I am not alternate juror. I am alternate juror's spawn. I'm not a 12-year-old boy. I'm a 30-year-old female. So, I know I've been messing the schedule up because I decided to hack my mom's YouTube. But let's see what we got in here. Hi, Lavi. How are you? Flashbang. Let's see here. Gabby. Danny T. We meet again. So Frank, what is up? So what we're doing, we're gonna do make sure I didn't miss anybody. We're gonna do part 2 of 3 for Billy Flynn. So just in case people are new here. So this is a trial with Pam Smart that was in New Hampshire. It was one of the first trials to be to have cameras in the courtroom and be televised in the U.S. So she was like a media director in a school and ended up having an inappropriate relationship with a 15-year-old, which is actually the one that we'll be hearing from today. She was accused, tried, and convicted of being an accomplice to first-degree unaliving for the unaliving of her husband. And let's see. So like it was Billy Flynn. I think he had 3 other accomplices, and so he's actually all of them took plea deals besides Pam to basically testify against her. So yeah, today be about roughly 2 hours or so, and then I'm still trying to figure out when we'll finish it up with part 3. It won't be today because it's too long. But without further ado, let's get this going. Let me know how the audio is. I know the audio yesterday was not the best. I've been messing with it for like the past 2.5 hours. So if I need to adjust it again, let me know.
So I'd like to call your attention to May 1st, 1990. Remember that day?
Yes, I do.
Did you go to school that day?
Yes, I did.
What happened at school?
Well, just, I remember being at my lockers and Pam came over and told me the bulkhead door would be open again. Not much happened in school that I can remember.
Okay. No, I'm just going to remind you to try and talk into the microphone if you can, okay?
All right.
Now, how did you get home? Where did you go after school that day?
Well, after school, JR Pete and myself didn't have a car that day, so we took the bus to JR's house. And from there, we were going to get a ride to go to pick up JR's grandmother's car, but we couldn't find anybody.
What time did you get home from school?
2:30.
When you got to JR's house at 2:30, who were you with?
Pete, JR, and myself.
Anyone else at JR's house at that time?
I don't believe so, no.
And what happened next?
Well, I called Pam at the media center, And I told her that if we were going to get the car in Haverhill, we needed a ride. And she agreed to come give us a ride to Haverhill.
What was the original plan to get a car?
I think Jay's grandmother was going to bring it down to us.
And when the car wasn't there, did you try and call anyone else first?
I don't remember.
Now, where did you call the defendant?
At her office in the media center.
And who did you speak to?
Pam.
What did you say to her?
I told her, I said, Jay's grandmother did bring the car down, and we need a ride up there to get the car.
What did she say to that?
She said, okay.
What happened next?
Well, we waited for Pam to come, and she came down to Jay's house and picked us up, and we went to Haverhill to get the car.
Now, before Pam came down and picked you up, did you do anything else at JR's house?
Yeah, I got the gun out of the trailer.
Where was the gun in the trailer?
In the trailer?
Yeah.
Underneath one of the cabinets, like under the sink, I think it was.
Did you have the ammunition with you at that time?
No, I did not.
Where was the ammunition?
In the camper.
How long after you called the defendant was it before she arrived in her car?
15 minutes, 20 minutes.
What car did she pick you up in?
Honda CRX.
And when she got to JR's house, what happened then?
Well, we all got in the car. JR was driving. Pete was in front passenger seat. Me and Pam were in the back. And we drove up to Haverhill.
What, if anything, happened on the way down in the car?
On the way down to Haverhill,
On the way down to Haverhill?
Pam asked to see the gun, and I showed her the gun, and there was a conversation about payment. I think it was payment, though. I couldn't swear there was.
Well, don't guess. Are you guessing?
Yeah.
All right, why don't you tell us what you remember? What do you remember about the conversations about the gun?
About the gun?
Yeah.
All right, well, I was laying in the back seat with Pam, and I told her that I had it on me, and she asked to see it, so I showed it to her.
How did you show it to her?
I had a jean jacket on, and it was in the inside jean jacket pocket on the left-hand side, and I took it out and showed it to her.
Did you give it to her or just flash it at her?
I just showed it to her.
Now, where in the car were you at this time?
Back.
You were in the back. Where were your feet? Where was your head?
Our feet were towards Pete and JR, and the head was toward the rear of the car.
Now, how much room is there in the back behind the CRX?
Not very much.
Are you cramped?
Yeah.
Now, were you behind the driver's side or were you behind the passenger side?
I was behind the driver's side.
So, JR was in front of you.
Yes.
Pam was next to you.
Yes.
Now, besides the conversation about the gun, well, let me backtrack. Did the defendant say anything when you showed her the gun?
Not that I remember, no.
Do you remember any other conversation in the car at that time?
Well, there was conversation between Pete Vance, myself, and Pam. And like I said, I believe it was about payment, but I can't really remember.
Why is it that you don't remember?
I just don't remember. It's been 9 months.
Who was driving the car?
JR was
How was JR driving the car?
fast.
Did that cause you any problems?
Not me, no.
Did anybody say anything about it?
Pam asked him to slow down.
What did she say at that point? Do you remember?
Yeah, she said the last thing we need now is a ticket because then the police officer would see that we were all together and it was May 1st.
How long did it take to get to Haverhill?
About 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes.
And what happened when you got to Haverhill?
Well, we drove to JR's grandmother's house and JR and Pete got out and got his grandmother's car.
Did you see how they got his grandmother's car?
How they got his grandmother's car? I don't know.
Did you see anybody go in the house or anything?
JR went in the house and Pete got in the car and then JR came out with the keys.
What kind of car did JR's grandmother have?
A 4-door Impala.
And have you seen that car before?
Yeah.
Had JR borrowed that car many times?
Yes.
Once JR and Pete got out of the car, what did you do?
Pam got into the driver's seat of the CRX, and I got in from passenger seat.
What happened after that?
Drove back to Seabrook.
Did you follow each other?
Well, JR was in front of us, but he got there about 5 minutes, well, I'd say about 5 minutes before we did.
Why was that?
No, he drives fast.
Did you make any stops on the way back to Seabrook?
Not that I can remember, no.
Was there any conversation in the car between you and the defendant at that time?
I'm sure there was, I don't recall what any of it was, though.
You sit here today, you can't remember what was said between you and the defendant in that car at that time?
Not when we were driving back, no.
What happened when you got back to Seabrook?
Well, alright, this is where my memory gets bad. I can't remember if what happened was we got to JR's house and he wasn't there, and she drove to my house and dropped me off, or if I did get dropped off at JR's house and waited for him to come there.
You're not sure which happened?
No.
What do you remember specifically happening next?
Well, I remember either JR came down and picked me up, and we got the bag of stuff in my room, or we all drove down to my house and got the bag of stuff.
At some point, you were together again with JR and Pete.
Yeah.
And in what car are you in?
The Impala.
Now, what happened at your house?
All right. Well, we got the duffel bag that had the clothes in it and the shoes.
So I can't hear you.
We got the duffel bag that had the clothes and the shoes and the gloves in it.
Is this the same duffel bag that you referred to the other day when you were talking about Raymond Fowler?
Yes, it is.
Now, what happened to the defendant after she dropped you off?
She went back to the media center.
Why did she go back to the media center? Did she say?
She was gonna wait there until the meeting started.
I'm sorry, until what?
The meeting started.
Do you know what meeting this was?
What the meeting was for?
Yeah, do you have any idea?
I want to say it was about pay increase, but I'm not positive.
And where would you have gotten that information from?
From Pam.
After you picked up the duffel bag, what happened next?
All right. Well, we drove back to Collins Street, and on Collins Street we picked up Raymond Fowler, who was in Ralph Welch's yard helping Ralph's father put in a window in a truck.
Now, when you say drive back to Collins Street, where is Ralph Welch's house in relationship to JR's?
Like right across the street to the left.
Now, at the time that you got dropped off by the defendant, did you still have the gun?
Yes, I did.
What about bullets?
We got those at JR's house
When did you get those?
after we got dropped off and before we went to Derry.
Do you remember when it was?
When it was specifically? No, I don't.
And you got them out of the camper, is that what you said?
Yes.
Now, what was said to Raymond Fowler at the time you picked him up, if anything?
Well, he knew what was going on, and he knew that he was going to be driving up with us, so he knew why we were there.
Had you planned to pick up Raymond Fowler?
Yeah, JR wanted him to come.
Why did JR want him to come?
He said he didn't want to sit in the car by himself.
Did he say why he didn't want to sit in the car by himself?
I don't remember why, no.
What happened next?
Well, we drove up to Derry.
Where were you in the car?
Back seat. Me and Pete were in the back seat, and Raymond and JR were in the front.
Who was driving?
JR.
Anything happened on the way to Derry?
On the way to Derry, yeah, we got Raymond was giving directions this time on the way up, and we got lost.
How is it that you got lost after having been to Derry?
Well, I wasn't paying attention.
And how is it that you got lost? Where did you end up, do you know?
No, Raymond said, I think we missed our exit, and So I looked up and I didn't know where we were. So then Raymond started, I think I said, well, turn around and it'd be the exit right behind us then. And Raymond was saying, no, I think it was before that or something like that. But we turned around and we got to Derry.
Was there any other conversation in the car except discussions as how to get there?
In the car? Not that I remember.
What happens when you get to Derry?
When we get to Derry, well, we pulled into the plaza that's by Pam's house. And, we all got out of the car and we went into Papagino's because I had to use the bathroom. Raymond asked if he can have some money to buy some pizza, so gave him some money, and Raymond stayed in Papagino's, and me, Pete, and JR left, and we went into one of the stores to get some tape.
When you got to the plaza, where did you park in the plaza?
Right in the parking lot, close to the road that goes into the back of the plaza.
Do you have any idea about what time this was?
Well, it was still light out, so I don't know, 5 o'clock.
It's like it's like just like something Hostess makes. I don't know. Google it. I'm trying to be good. Oh my goodness.
I guess.
No, I'm not asking you to guess. You just know it's still light out?
Yeah, it was still light.
Now, when you went into Papagino's, is this the same Papagino's you referred to before when you were looking with Cecilia Pierce?
Oh, no, it's not.
This is a separate one.
Yeah, this one's in Derry.
Now, why did you go into Papagino's?
To use the bathroom.
Anybody else?
JR and Pete, they used the bathroom too.
Now, after you left Papagino's, you said you went to what store?
It's like an Ames or a Zayre's
Now, why did you go to the Ames or Zayre?
to buy Scotch tape.
Why did you want to buy Scotch tape?
Because the latex gloves that we had, you push your finger up against the car window, it leaves a print, and when you have the gloves on, so we decided to get tape and put them over the tops of our fingers.
Now, where were you when you tested these latex gloves?
In Paula.
In the car?
Yeah.
You put your finger up against the window
Yes.
and you left the mark?
Fingerprint, yes.
So what kind of tape is it you bought?
Scotch tape.
Did you tape your fingers right then and there?
No.
Did you get anything else that you recall before?
Not that I remember, no.
After buying the Scotch tape, what else happened?
Well, we sort of walked around in front of the stores, waited for it to get dark. And then we went back to the car and sat in there for a little while. And when it got dark, we decided to go over.
How long did you have to wait before it got dark?
45 minutes, half an hour.
When you decided it was time to go, what did you do in the car?
All right, well, when we decided it was dark enough, Pete and myself taped our fingertips up in the car. I loaded the gun.
Can you show the members of the jury what you mean by taped up your fingertips? What did you do to your fingertips?
All right, we got the Scotch tape wrapped around the tips of our fingertips where the fingerprints would be left by.
Okay.
And then put the gloves.
I'm not sure that was heard very good. You put your face away from the mic. Why don't you just repeat what you said into the mic?
All right, we put the Scotch tape around the tips of our fingertips so it wouldn't leave any fingerprints. Then we put the gloves on top of the tape.
Did you put the gloves on in the car?
No, we didn't.
So at this point, you just have the tape on your fingertips.
Yes.
Now, when you say you loaded the gun, how did you know how to load a gun?
Well, when I had first seen not the first time I saw the gun, but the first time I handled the gun. JR showed me how to open it, and so I knew how to open it. So the rest is self-explanatory.
Pretty simple process.
Yes.
How many bullets did you load the gun with?
I can't remember if it held 5 or 6, but it was 5 or 6.
And when you loaded the gun, where was the gun then?
We were in the car when I loaded the gun.
Where did you put it after you loaded it?
My waistband, or whatever you call it, my pants.
What happened after that?
Well, Pete and I got out of the car with the duffel bag and went around to the back of the plaza.
Did you walk around to the back or drive around to the back?
We walked.
Why didn't you just park in the back?
Because parking in the parking lot, Pam said, would be less suspicious. Plus, the police station is close to there, and they go through the back road to go towards the condo complex.
Now, when you went into the back of the plaza, were there any cars parking back there?
No,
And who was carrying the duffel bag?
I believe I was.
And it was just you and Pete at this time?
Yes.
Where did you go behind the plaza?
Well, we walked around to the back, and we kept walking until we found where the dumpsters were. And we went behind the dumpsters and changed into the black clothes and put our regular clothes in the duffel bag.
Did you have a particular dumpster figured out beforehand?
No,
How many dumpsters were there behind the plaza? I mean, was there one? Was there more?
well, where we were, I'd say, I believe there was about 3.
Now, was there anybody back there when you were doing this?
No.
What exactly did you put on?
I put on black sweatpants, the shoes Raymond gave us, and a t-shirt and a black winter jacket. Pete put on gray sweatpants, I think it was, and like a black t-shirt, black sweatshirt, and the shoes Raymond gave us.
Was this your black winter jacket?
Yes, it was,
And why were you wearing a winter jacket on May 1st?
because it was black.
Where was the gun at this time?
Well, when I put my winter jacket on, it has inside pocket on the left-hand side. I put the gun in there.
This time, were you intending to kill Gregg Smart?
Yes, I was.
What did you do with the clothes you had on?
We put them in the duffel bag, and there was a stairwell there, and we put them down the stairwell.
And after you put the clothes down the stairwell, what did you do next?
Started walking towards Pam's condo.
And when you were walking towards Pam's condo, did you see anybody?
Yeah, when we were on that road there that goes from the back of the plaza into the complex, 2 people passed us, and we started jogging, so it looked like we were just joggers or something.
And where did you jog to?
Well, we jogged past Pam's condo, all the way down that road, and went back around. Well, we didn't come back, but we went down that road and turned, and there was a trail in the field, and we walked up that trail into the back of Pam's house.
Now, when you jogged, did you jog past the condominium?
Yes, it did.
And what made you stop jogging? What was the route you took?
What was the route I took?
I mean, after you jogged past the condo, did you stop a few feet past?
No,
House
we
pass?
kept going until the road either turned left or right. And we went right and went down there a little bit, and then there's a trail in the field, and we walked up there and went around.
Now, when you say there was a trail in the field, what kind of field is it? Small field, fairly big field?
Fairly big field.
So you're walking through the field. What was on your right and what was on your left? Do you remember?
All right, on my right-hand side were the condos, and on my left-hand side there was a junior high, I think it was.
Were there any lights on in this field?
In this field? No, I don't think there were.
And was it light out, dark out?
It was getting dark.
Then what happened?
Well, we went around to the back of Pam's house. There's like a shed there. And we were sitting there, and these people had came out of their condo behind, on the opposite side of the shed.
Now, when you say shed, are we talking about small shed, really large shed? What kind of-
Small shed.
And when you said someone came out of their condominium, where was that condominium in relationship to the defendants?
Behind it.
And what were these people doing?
Saying goodbye to some friends or something like that, because they were getting into a car and they were talking. And then the car drove off and they went back into the house.
Now, what were you and Pete doing at this time?
Just waiting for them to leave.
How long did you have to wait for?
5 minutes.
What happened then?
Well, we went over to the bulkhead and I pulled it up and I was trying to be quiet and it didn't go up. So, I pulled it again and I think I twisted the handle and then pulled it up and it went up. And we went down the bulkhead doors.
How long did it take to get down the bulkhead doors? And once you got over to the bulkhead and started
20,
trying
30 seconds.
And what about the gloves? What had you done with the gloves?
Well, we had put them on before we went down the bulkhead door
Where were you when you put them on?
by the shed behind Pam's house.
So now you have the tape on your fingers and the gloves over the tape.
Yes.
And where was the gun at this point?
It was still in my jacket pocket.
Now, once you got into the basement, what happened next?
All right. We were in the basement, and the stairs lead upstairs, and we went up the stairs, and the door that goes into the house didn't have a lock on it. So we opened the door and went in the house.
Now, you said the gun was in your jacket pocket. Earlier you said it was in your waistband. Did you move it?
Yes, because I was wearing my normal clothes when it was in my waistband, and when I changed into the sweatpants and stuff, I put it in my jacket.
Now, you say the door that leads into the condo was unlocked.
Yes. It didn't have a lock on it.
Okay. Are you talking about the door that leads into the basement?
Yes.
And you just walked through that door?
Yes.
Were there any lights on in the basement?
No.
What did you then do?
When we walked in the door,
Right. Once you were in the basement, where'd you go next?
we got in the basement and we went upstairs to the door. Went through the door.
Is that door locked? Any problems getting through it?
No.
What's the next thing you did?
Well, Haley started barking and growling, so I walked over to Haley and picked him up, and I put him inside the door and shut the door.
Which door did you put him inside and which door did you shut?
The cellar door.
Did Haley try to bite you?
No.
Was it hard to get Haley?
No. I just walked over. Well, yeah, he wasn't running or anything, but he was moving away from me as I moved towards him. But I just picked him up.
Were any lights on the first floor of the apartment?
First floor apartment? No, I don't think there was any lights on in the house.
Were you able to see inside?
After a minute, my eyes adjusted.
What'd you do next?
Well, we went upstairs, Pete and I, and right into Pam's room, and we started dumping out the drawers and everything, so it would look like a burglary.
And besides dumping out the drawers, what else happened?
I gotta pause it for just a second because I don't want to get copyrighted. But he said something earlier. I know I put it over here in the notes, and I just wanted to be like, does that work? But even if it doesn't, I mean, maybe back then it did. But for a 15-year-old to put tape over your fingers, like where your fingerprint would show up, and then to put a glove, that's actually pretty smart. And I don't know, I mean, I wouldn't say that probably work as well nowadays, but maybe back then it would work a little bit better. Because DNA testing and things like that weren't as great back then. But this is where I think things will get interesting. I mean, trying to make it look like a burglary. Getting better at that word. I hate that he's in this position, and I feel bad. I feel bad for him that he went through any of this, because I think he seems like a sweet kid, but pretty smart. And that's the real sad part, is obviously it's one of those things where you think, like, what could you have become if this didn't happen? Because you have a brain, and I just thought that was kind of interesting.
I got a pillowcase off the pillows on Pam's bed, and then we went to the bathroom. And when we were in the bathroom, we shut the doors because there's no outside window in the bathroom, and turned the lights on in there.
Why did you turn the lights on in there?
So you can see better. And it's like a sliding door closet in the bathroom, and that's where Pam's jewelry box is. So we dumped that in the pillow, and there was a small TV, like a portable TV type of thing. Took that down, and I think that's all we did in the bathroom.
How did you know where the jewelry box was?
Because I'd been to Pam's house before, and she showed me.
Do you recall what kind of jewelry was in the jewelry box?
Yeah, bracelets, rings, necklaces, earrings. But she had worn a lot of jewelry that day, all the best jewelry, so it wouldn't be in there when we took it.
How do you know that?
Because I saw her first, and she told me. She showed me. She had like a ring on every finger.
And where was it when she showed this to you?
Media Center. It was the first time she mentioned it, I think.
So you saw the media center on May 1st before you went home after school?
Yes.
After you in the bathroom, you entered the jewelry box, took the TV. How big was this TV you're talking about?
It was pretty small. It was about 12 inches long and 5 inches wide.
How high was it? Is that what you mean by 5 inches wide?
Yeah.
What else did you do upstairs?
We went to the guest bedroom, but I already knew there wasn't anything in there. And we were gonna throw the stuff around, but we just decided not to. Went downstairs.
What did you do when you got downstairs?
Well, when we got downstairs, Pete was trying to unhook the stereo in the VCR, but he couldn't.
Why couldn't he?
I don't remember. I don't think he can get to the. I didn't think he can get to the plugs. They plug everything in the wall socket.
So did he unplug anything?
I don't think so.
What happened to the VCR?
Well, I remember he took that off the shelf, and it was out, and the cord had gotten the cord was stuck, the plug, and he couldn't reach the plug. I don't think.
What about the speakers?
Unhooked the speakers and put them by the back door.
Now, why were the speakers put by the back door?
So it would look like a burglar, and we were gonna take them afterwards, so things would be missing from the house.
How many sets of speakers were there in the living room?
Well, there was 2 Fisher House speakers, and we weren't gonna take those because they were too big, and there was
You said you were or you weren't going to take them?
we're not, and
Why not?
they were too big, and there was a pair of Bose speakers, house speakers, but they were smaller. We put those by the door.
What else did you do downstairs in this first floor?
Well, we went to the kitchen, and there's a butcher block there, and Pete took a knife out of the butcher's block.
Why did Pete take a knife out of the butcher block?
Because he was gonna, instead of using the gun, he was gonna cut Gregg's, he was gonna kill Gregg with a knife.
You started to say he was going to cut. What was he going to cut?
He was gonna cut Gregg's throat.
What did you discuss with Pete about cutting Gregg's throat?
I don't remember.
Why was it that Pete was going to cut Gregg's throat instead of using the gun?
Because it wouldn't make any noise, and none of the. We thought that when we fired the gun, then all the neighbors would hear it.
What kind of knife did Pete grab?
Like a carving knife type
Can you
of knife.
hold up your hands and show us about how long it was?
Including the handle is about that long.
The record reflects the witness held up his hand about 8 inches or so. Now, what did you do in the kitchen besides grab this knife?
Well, we opened the drawers. We were looking for a flashlight, and we couldn't find a flashlight.
Why did you want a flashlight?
So we could see better without turning the lights on.
Now, what happened to the pillowcase you got from upstairs?
Well, we still had it at that point, but at that point I was in the kitchen on the counter, sitting on the counter, looking out the window, waiting for Gregg's truck to come. And Pete was in the living room. I think I didn't see him because it was dark, but that's the general area his voice came from. So
And how were you looking for Pete? I'm sorry, how were you looking for Gregg Smart?
there's a window in the kitchen that has blinds on it. I was looking through the blinds.
And what was Pete doing in the living room?
Well, he had there was a black pillow on the sofa. Pam had about 6 small pillows in her living room, and Pete cut open a black one with a knife, and he put the stuff that was in the other pillowcase into that one.
Now, let me rephrase this. How long did it take to ransack the first floor?
First floor. I don't know, 15 minutes, approximately 15 minutes.
What happened after that?
After the first floor,
Right.
I was sitting in the kitchen, and Pete went into the living room.
Did you have any conversations with Pete as to what was going to happen when Gregg came home?
Yes.
What conversations did you have?
Well, we were deciding what we were going to do when he came home.
And what did you talk about?
Well, Pam had said that it would be a good idea to hide in the coat closet that's right by the door, because he always comes in, takes off his jacket, puts it in the closet. But I don't know. I can't remember why, but we decided against that.
Where is this coat closet that you were going to hide in?
As you walk in the door, it's on your left-hand side.
Is it right on the left-hand side, or you have to walk in?
Well, you walk in the door, and the stairs are on the left-hand side, and they go up like that. And if you came directly down the stairs and didn't turn like to go to the door, you'd walk into the closet.
So it's right at the base of the stairs.
Yes.
And besides rejecting that idea, what else did you discuss?
Well, what we said. Oh, all right. There was Pam has 2 brass candlestick holders on a dining room table, and we had discussed whether we should take one of those off the table and hit him with it when he came in.
Hit him where when he came in?
In the head, knock him unconscious.
I'd like to show you what's been introduced as Defendant's Exhibit C. Does that look familiar to you?
Yeah, that's one of the candlesticks.
What did you do with this candlestick, if anything?
Well, when we were talking about that, I took it off the table, and I had it in my hand, and then we thought about taking the light out of the. There's a light right above the door. We're gonna take the light bulb out of that, so he couldn't turn that light on when he came in.
Why did you want to take? You wanted to take the light bulb out of the light so we couldn't turn on the light?
Yes.
Did you?
No, I didn't.
Why not?
Because we thought it would show premeditation.
What do you mean by show premeditation?
That it wasn't just a botched robbery. It was that's why we were there the whole time.
And when you decided to take the light bulb out of the socket, what happened to the candlestick holder?
I put it on the floor and I never picked it up after that.
Where did you put it on the floor?
It would be right by the cellar door that goes down, probably a little closer to the door on the tile.
On the tile?
I believe so, yes.
What else, if anything, did you and Pete discuss?
Well, what we had come up with is, this is what we were going to do. I was going to stand in front of the closet, and Pete was going to stand behind the door. And Pete was going to grab him when he came in the door and pull him in. And I was going to shut the lights off and shut the door.
Had you had a plan of what to do after you pulled him in?
Well, and that was before, we knew about that beforehand.
You mean just to kill?
Yeah.
So what happened after you had all these discussions? What was the final one you decided on?
All right. I was going to stand in front of the closet door because when he walks in the door, he wouldn't be able to see me from there. Pete was going to stand behind the entrance door when it swung open, so he'd be behind it there. And then Pete was going to grab Greg when he opened the door and pull him in.
So what happened after you decided on this plan?
All right. Well, I was sitting in the kitchen
Where were you sitting in the kitchen?
on the counter.
And when you were sitting on the counter, what were you doing?
I was just sitting there watching out the window.
How many windows were in the kitchen?
One.
And were the blinds up or down?
They were down.
How were you able to see?
Well, I'd pull them down a little bit with my hand and look out every so often.
And when you looked out that window, what area could you look at?
Outside the front door area in the parking lot.
How long had you been in the defendant's apartment at this point? From the moment you walked in the bulkhead to now?
I don't really know.
While you were sitting on the counter looking out the window, was all the ransacking done at this point?
Yes.
What was Pete doing?
In the living room. He was sitting in the living room.
What happened next?
All right. Well, I saw Greg pull up in the truck, and I ran out of the kitchen and I was saying, "Jesus, Pete, he's here, he's here." So, all right, Pete said, "Calm down, let's go." And so we went over.
How did you know this was Gregg?
Because I'd seen pictures of him, and I knew what his truck looked like from before.
What kind of truck had he pulled up?
A gray mini truck, Toyota, I believe it is.
Did you see him get out of that truck?
I just saw him pull up.
So you went over to Pete, and after you said he was here, what happened next?
Well, we went over, we ran over by the door, to get ready. But when we went over to the door, I don't know why, but I got behind when the door would open and Pete got by the closet. So, everything was messed up.
When you were over behind the door, did you have anything in your hands?
I don't believe so, no.
Where was the gun?
In my jacket pocket, still.
Pete have anything with him?
The knife.
What happened next?
All right. I heard Gregg walking up towards the door, and I could hear the keys jingling outside the door. So he unlocked the door, and he opened the door.
After he opened the door, what else, if anything, did he do?
And he turned the lights on, and he called for Haley.
Now, how far open was the door at this point?
It was enough for me to be behind it and it not touching me.
How far into the apartment was Gregg?
Like one step.
Was he moving at this time, standing still? What was he doing?
He was standing there.
Could you see him at this point?
No.
And what exactly did he call when he called Haley?
Called Haley. Oh, he called on the dog, yeah. This Haley the dog.
And what happened next?
Well, he just stood there, and I just stood there, and Pete just stood there.
How long was it that you were all frozen like that?
I have no idea.
How long did it take?
Like quite a while.
Then what happened?
And then I jumped out from behind the door, and I grabbed him by his shoulders on his suit jacket, and I was trying to pull him in the condo.
I'm going to ask you to still speak into the mic. When you grabbed him by his jacket at the shoulders, what, if anything, was he doing?
Well, he started yelling, and he was trying to back out of the house.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
He started yelling, and he was trying to back out of the house.
What was he yelling?
I don't remember.
When you grabbed him by the shoulders, started to pull him in, what happened next?
Pete jumped out from where he was and pushed him in. He shut out the lights and shut the door, but the mat got caught in the door. And then he took the mat out of the doorway and shut the door.
After he shut the door, while he was shutting the door, what were you doing?
Well, Gregg was saying, what's going on? And I was telling him to be quiet. And then Pete shut the door, and he came over, and we told him to get we told him to get down on his knees.
How did you tell him to get down on his knees?
That's what we said. We said get down on your knees.
You said it? He said it? Who said it?
I think we both said it.
Now, where were you just while you were telling Gregg to get down on his knees?
Inside the door. Well, like right by the cellar door, on the tile.
So when you say by the cellar door near the tile, had you moved into the apartment at all?
Yeah.
Which way were you facing? Which way was Gregg facing? Before he's on his knees.
Gregg had his back to the stairwell.
When you say his back was against the stairwell, up against the wall or up against the open space?
Well, that's just the way his back was facing. He wasn't up against.
And then what happened?
All right. Pete was talking to him.
What was Pete? Was he on his knees yet?
Yes.
How did he get to his knees?
I think we pushed him down to his knees.
Now, as Pete was talking to him, is anybody touching Greg?
Pete had put his Pete grabbed him by the hair.
And was Pete still holding him by the hair?
Yes, he was.
Can you show us how Pete was holding him?
He had his hand like that.
Now, what was Pete saying to him?
I don't remember.
What position was Greg in at this time?
He was on his knees, and I think his hands were in his lap. And Pete was in front of him, and I was to his left and a little behind him.
Can you come down in front of the jury and show us how Gregg Smart was kneeling at that time?
Yes.
With the court's permission, can we just get off and stand here?
All right.
Facing the jury, why don't you show us how Gregg Smart was kneeling? Why don't you back up a little bit? Right there. I want you to kneel down and show us how Gregg Smart was kneeling at that time. No, I'm going to ask you to face the jury.
He was on his knees.
Talk loud so we can hear you.
He was on his knees like this. He had his hand in his hand. He sat down, and then he was standing on his left.
Now you had your head down. Show us how his head was.
Down like this.
And Pete's hand was in his hair at that time?
Yes, it was.
Where were you standing in relationship to Gregg Smart?
Well, he was kneeling down like that. And if he was facing the jury, I would have been right here.
Why don't you kneel down and put me where you were standing?
I was right here.
I'm asking you to speak up.
Greg was right here.
Everyone hearing? Place me where you were standing. Tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Right here? The record reflects him standing to the left of the witness slightly behind. His head was in a downward fashion like that. Now place me where Pete was standing.
Directly in front of me.
Tell me when to stop.
Directly in front of me.
Directly? What was directly behind Gregg Smart?
The wall where the stairs are.
You return to your seat.
I'm just gonna pause for just a second. He's like I was saying earlier, you know, with the tape and the gloves and stuff, and then him even having the wits about him to think, okay, like if I take this light bulb out, if I do this, I'm like, just goes to show you how smart he is. And I mean, maybe he's getting one over on me. Maybe he really is just a cold-blooded unaliver. But I feel
Well, I mean,
I feel
he
bad
did
for
do
him.
it though, right?
He did do it. Yes, he's admitting that he did it.
So
And I mean, I couldn't do that. So, but it's just,
I mean, no, I would have looked at her and would have been like, absolutely not. You know? But, you know,
Yeah.
that's what I said, you know, I mean, she must have a magical vagina. Put it that
she
way.
must. I mean, I guess, yeah, she must. And I've just been fortunate or unfortunate enough, I don't know, to not meet one of those. But yeah,
No, that's
something-
true. That's
Yep.
true.
that you're right. Not everyone that commits a crime is evil.
I'm not saying that he's evil. I'm just saying that he did commit the crime.
Google at your own risk. All right, we'll get back to this. Just kind of makes me a little sad. It's like, what would you have amounted to if this didn't happen? You didn't spend however many years in prison. I think like 25 or something like that.
Prior to Gregg getting to the floor, did you struck him at all?
I don't believe so, no.
How was it that you overpowered?
Pardon me?
How was it that you overpowered?
Well, after he got into the house, thank you. He wasn't struggling very much. He was just asking.
What was he asking?
Just what was going on?
What'd you tell him?
I just told him to shut up.
Pete say anything then?
Once he was down on his knees, but I don't remember what that was.
How long? You don't remember what Pete said to him?
No.
What happened next?
Well, he was kneeling there, and it was obvious that we weren't gonna be able to cut his throat.
Why weren't you going to be able to cut his throat?
We just wouldn't be able to, bring ourselves to do it.
Why do you say that?
Well, he was kneeling down, in front of us. He just couldn't do it.
Where was the knife in relationship to Gregg Smart at this time?
Pete had him by the hair with one hand and had the knife by his face. Thank you. Thank you.
I'd like to show you what State's Exhibit number 39. Does this look like the knife?
Yes.
Is this the knife that Pete Randall had in front of Gregg Smart's face?
Yes, it was.
When you felt you couldn't cut his throat, what happened next?
I motioned to Pete, like this, because that's where I had the gun.
Can you stand up and show the members of the jury how you motioned to Pete?
Well, I just went like this, because that's what the gun was.
Sit down. When you motioned, let the record reflect, the witness took his right hand and pointed to his left breast, indicating the motion he did at that time. What happened after that? What did Pete do?
Pete, nodded his head yes.
What was Gregg doing or saying at this time?
Well, he was still kneeling there, but I don't know what he was saying.
After Pete nodded his head yes, what did you do?
I took the gun out of my pocket.
I'd like to show you State's Exhibit 40. Is this the gun you had at that time?
Yes, it is.
How do you recognize it?
I just remember it.
After you took the gun out, what did you then do with the gun?
All right. I took the gun out of my pocket and I cocked the hammer back.
After you cocked the hammer back, did Pete or Gregory Smart say anything?
Pete and Greg were still talking, but I don't remember what they were saying.
You weren't paying attention to what they were saying?
No.
Then what happened?
I cocked the hammer back and I pointed the gun at his head.
After you pointed the gun at his head, what did you do?
I just stood there.
How long was it?
100 years it seemed like. And I said, God forgive me.
After you said, God forgive me, what happened?
I pulled the trigger.
Good morning, recess.
All right. May I continue, Your Honor?
Yes, ma'am.
How long was the gun out before you shot Gregory Smart?
I don't know.
What part of his body were you aiming at?
His head.
How far from his head was the gun when you pulled the trigger?
It was close.
Oh, I completely agree. I about just completely screwed up. I almost just exited out of it, like everything. Yeah, I agree. And especially having to go to the, like, stand in front of the jury and show exactly this is where they were, this is where I was, this is where this person was, and have to basically sit there and relive everything that you just did. But yeah, I'm sure like that. I'm sure that was hard. I mean, there's a part of me that's like, well, you did it, but there's also a part of me that's like, I'm staring at I think at this point he was 16 or 17 during the trial. I'm staring at a kid, and it's feel for him a little bit.
I don't know.
Why did you say God forgive?
Because it's not something that I didn't want to kill Greg. You know, I wanted to be with Pam, and that's what I had to do to be with Pam. But I didn't want to kill Greg.
What happened after you shot Gregory Smart?
I ran
Where did you run?
out the back door.
Who made it out the back door first?
Me.
Now, when you got to the back door, what did you have to do to get out?
So open the door and I don't remember it. I just ran.
Locked, unlocked?
Unlocked.
When you got on the back porch, what happened next?
Well, there's a rail there, so I jumped over it. But so I just ran.
How long after you fired the shot was it before you ran?
Roughly a half a second.
Now, where was the gun at this time?
In my hand.
After you jumped over the railing, where did you go?
Through the field. We were gonna run back to the back of the plaza, change into our clothes, and then go meet JR in the car. But JR was driving by as we ran out.
Now, as you were running through the field, what if anything happened?
Well, I was running too fast and I fell.
And what about Pete? Where was he when you fell?
Behind me.
What happened after that?
Well, I got up and I was still running. JR stopped the car and I fell again. And Pete passed me that time. We got into the car.
Now, when you got to the car, what did you have in your hand?
The gun.
Anything else?
No.
What about Pete?
The black bag of stuff.
Where was the knife?
He had dropped it.
Did you drop anything?
Yeah. Well, when I got in the car, one of my gloves was gone. So I dropped one of my gloves.
Do you know how this glove got off your hand?
No.
Just when you got in the car, one was missing?
Yes.
You don't have any recollection of that?
No.
What was going through your mind as you were running across that field?
Well, I don't really remember what was going through my mind. I know I was really scared.
Now, when you got to the car, which way was JR facing? Towards the back of the plaza or away from the back of the plaza?
Towards the back of the plaza.
When you got to the car, where was Raymond followed?
Front passenger seat.
JR in the driver's seat?
Yes.
Where did you go in the car?
Back seat behind JR. Pete got in back seat behind Raymond.
When you first got in the car, what happened next?
All right. Pete was telling him to get going, and they was sitting there asking, did you do it? Did you do it? Did you do it? And Pete was telling him to go, and they just kept asking. So then I screamed at him to go, and we started going. We got the clothes from down the stairwell.
How did you get the clothes from the stairwell?
Got out of the car, grabbed the duffel bag.
Who grabbed it?
I think I did.
You know?
I don't remember now.
After you got the clothes, so the clothes were gotten, what happened next?
Well, we started driving away.
And as you were driving away, where were you going?
Back to Seabrook.
And did anything happen on the way back to Seabrook?
We got out of those clothes because we wanted to get rid of them now. Put our normal clothes back on, pulled over on the side of the road somewhere, and threw all the black clothes out. And the shoes.
Was everything thrown out at once?
Yes.
And was there any conversation in the car this time?
Conversation. Well, JR and Raymond was singing some stupid song to try to calm me down.
Were you singing?
Was I singing? No.
Where did you change out of your clothes? In the car or at the dumpster?
The back seat of the car.
And after you got rid of your clothes, what happened next?
Well, we got back into the car and we drove back to Seabrook.
Do you know how you drove back to Seabrook? Which route you took?
Oh, which route? No.
Now, where were you in the car?
Back seat behind JR.
Where was Pete?
Back seat behind Raymond.
And where was the gun at this point?
I think I put it back in my jacket pocket. Oh no, because we threw that out. So in the duffel bag, I think.
Are you guessing?
I'm pretty sure that's where it was.
Now, when you got back to Seabrook, what happened there?
Well, I was the first one to get dropped off. So they dropped me off at my house. And then I wasn't there, but what I understand was,
Well, you weren't there. You can't testify about it.
well, it's what I was told, yeah.
By who?
JR the next day at school.
What they did after you dropped you off?
Yeah, because I asked them. And they just said, I dropped Pete off, and then I dropped Raymond off, and I went home.
Did you go anywhere else that night?
No, I did not.
Do you have any contact with the defendant that night?
Pam? No, well,
After the shooting?
after the shooting, not at the wake, but,
No, I'm just talking about that night, May 1st.
well, she had drove by us. She said she saw our car, and she flashed her headlights on and off, but we didn't see it.
She told you that later.
Yes.
Okay, what I'm asking you is that night after you got home, do you have any contact with the defendant?
No, I didn't.
I'd like to show you State's Exhibit number 5. It's a candlestick by the foot, Gregory Smart. Is that the candlestick you had in your hand?
Yes.
Can you tell us how it got there?
I put it on the floor.
Take a minute. How about the wall between his legs?
I don't know how that got there.
Do you have any recollection of any conversation about the wall?
I don't have any regulation of any conversation. I just know that there was.
What about the towel by his head?
No,
You don't know how it got there?
no,
You have any conversation about the towel?
not that I remember, no.
Do you want to testify here today?
Did I want to? No.
Why not?
Well, I didn't want to testify against Pam.
Why don't you want to testify against Pam?
Well, for one thing, I told her I'd never tell on her. I loved her.
When did you have these conversations with her? You said
Oh, this child. I mean, he's not a child anymore, but this child.
Grooming.
Yeah, grooming to a T.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, for him to say that after all of this, and even having to stare at that photo and sit here and have to reenact it, and to still say that.
Yeah.
That's poor child.
that you never tell on her.
The day before Pete, J, and myself got arrested.
Are you testifying today as part of an agreement with the state?
Yes, I am.
Do you know when you entered into that agreement?
Date?
What month?
February, I believe.
This year or last year?
This year.
Now, prior to entering into that agreement, had you ever spoken with any member of the Attorney General's office?
No.
Any police officer?
No.
Where were you at the time you entered into that agreement?
Rockingham County House of Corrections.
How long had you been in the Rockingham County House of Corrections?
About a month and a half.
And where had you been prior to that?
ADC, juvenile pretrial facility.
What is your understanding of the cooperation agreement with the state? What are your obligations?
Well, I have to tell them the complete truth. I have to testify against anybody you want me to. In exchange for that, I can plead guilty to second-degree murder with a sentence of 40 years to life with 12 deferred.
What does 12 deferred mean to you?
It means if I don't screw up in prison and I don't get in any trouble or anything, I get 12 years taken off.
Well, hold on, Sicky, before I get to yours. Flashpin, no, I don't disagree with you. I was actually just watching another streamer the other day, or yesterday, and it was Squid. I mean, you guys know Squid. Squid has a lovely channel. And they were going through like Carly Gregg stuff, Carly Gregg, and then everything that she's got to go through. And then I was looking at another teen that had done a horrendous crime, and I think that the laws need to be a little bit different. I don't because right now it's you can do this in this state, and it's like you can give them this sentence in this state, but you can't in this state. It's when you're dealing with a juvenile, I think it just needs to be across the board. That's just my own personal opinion. But yeah, I mean, I don't think it's unfair, like just across the board, but I think there needs to be, they need to redo some things and go back through some things and make it make the sentencing like across board. It's because like with Carly Gregg in Mississippi, you can do this, but with the one that I was talking about, Aaron Fucci in the state of Florida, you cannot do that. Like in Mississippi, you can, if they're charged as an adult, you can sentence them to life in prison without parole. In Mississippi or in Florida, if they're charged as an adult, you can, but within 25 years, they have the ability to request like a resentencing. So it gets very confusing state between state. And so I don't necessarily think that you should do that. How old is this kid? He's I think he's 17. Because I think he maybe was just shy of 16 when it happened. Because the trial takes place in 1991. The unaliving happened in 1990. So I think he was just shy of 16 when it happened, or maybe he was 15 when he met Pam Smart. I don't know that, but I'm pretty sure he's 17 here. What's up, Ash? Glad to see you.
But if I do screw up or anything, then those 12 years can be put back on or left on.
And what is the maximum amount of time you can serve in the sentence?
Life.
Now, are you aware of a statute in New Hampshire which allows you to apply for a sentence reduction?
Yes.
How are you so aware of such a statute?
How did I become aware?
Right.
My lawyer, Mr. Murberg, had told me.
Do you have any understanding of the state regards your attempts to try and get a sentence reduction?
Yes, he'll be against me. Against it.
The time that you killed Gregory Smart, how old were you?
Just turned 16.
When you say you just turned 16, when was your birthday?
March 12th, today.
Today you're 17?
Yeah.
How is it that you could break this cooperation agreement with the state?
By lying, by refusing to testify against somebody.
And what happens if you break this cooperation agreement?
Well, I go to trial. Everything I've told you can be used against me if I get on the stand. And I've already pleaded guilty to second-degree murder. But you can indict me for first degree.
You know what the punishment is for first degree?
Life in prison.
Without parole?
I believe so, yes.
I could have these agreements marked as full exhibits. I assume there's no objection.
Right.
I'm not sure whenever what to go. I have before me two agreements. I'd like to show you State's Exhibit number 59. Do you recognize this?
Yes, I do.
I'm going to ask you to speak into the microphone so the jury can hear you.
Yes, I do.
Is this the agreement that you signed before speaking with the Attorney General's office?
Yes, it is.
How do you recognize it?
My signature.
And this is an agreement you signed before you're talking to us, is that correct?
Yes.
Now I'd like to show you what's State's Exhibit number 60. You recognize that?
Yes, I do.
And how do you recognize it?
My signature.
Now besides your signature, is the signature of your attorney
Yes, Mr. Murberg, yes.
and myself and Ms. Nicolosi?
Yes.
And is that also true for State's Exhibit number 59?
Yes.
And can you tell us the date that you signed these agreements?
1/22/91.
Is that true for both agreements?
Yes, it is.
Now, Were you aware that Pete Randall and JR were entering agreements at the time that you did?
Yes, I was.
How did that affect your decision whether or not to enter this agreement?
Well, I refused to enter an agreement unless JR and Pete were going to have it,
Why is that?
because
No, Flashman, that's what he's talking about. He took so him and his accomplices, they took a plea agreement to do second degree unaliving, and I had it in my notes somewhere, but I actually think I threw those notes away. So I think he got 25. One got 12, one got 18, and then one got 40. But that was for a separate reason. I think they found him where he had maybe tried a separate time. I'm not really sure with that one. But no, so they took a plea agreement, pled it down to second degree unaliving with also the agreement to testify against PAM.
I wasn't going to testify against them.
Why didn't you want to testify against them?
Because I feel I got them into this.
Why do you feel like you got them into this?
Because that's what happened. I got them into this.
What happens if JR and Pete break their agreement?
Then I'm supposed to testify against them.
Did anyone ever inform you you could only plead if you had damaging testimony against the defendant?
No.
Now, I want to take you back to the relationship you had with the defendant. Besides being alone with her at her condominium or apartment, where else would you have the opportunity before the murder to be alone with Pamela Smart?
Before May 1st, her office, her car, my house.
Did you ever have sexual relationships in her office?
No, not her office.
Was there anywhere else you were able to have physical relationships besides
Yes,
her apartment? Where was that?
my house and her car.
And where would you go in her car?
There's a few places. Salisbury Reservation.
What is Salisbury Reservation?
Yeah, it's like in the summer you can go and camp there, I guess. But in the winter it's just open and there's no one there.
How many times did you go there?
Salisbury Reservation, 4 or 5 times.
Where else?
There's this place in Salisbury, Rabbit Road, I believe it is. It's like a factory, and in the back of it there's a parking lot, and there's no one there at night.
How many times did you go there?
I went there once.
How many times were you at your house?
Once.
Anywhere else?
There's ballpark in Seabrook on South Main Street. And there's a parking lot that goes back towards the woods there and there.
And what time of day would these rendezvous normally take place?
Well, there wasn't any set time or anything, just
Mostly at night, mostly after school?
mostly after school.
Were you ever out drinking with the defendant?
Yes.
How often did you do that?
With Pam, out drinking before May 1st, only a couple times.
So your peers ever with you?
Yes.
Where would you go drinking?
Well, one time that sticks out in my memory best is we went to she'd come down on a weekend, Friday night or Saturday, and picked me up at JR's house. And we went down to, there's a liquor store by Ames,
When the defendant came down, who was she with?
Cecilia. So I went to the liquor store down by Ames on Route 1 in Seabrook. And she went to the liquor.
I promise I won't keep pausing this. No, it's actually, she's not vacationing. She's missing. She was kidnapped. And I don't know, she's probably in somebody's basement right now. They're like, put the lotion on the skin. We're going to get the hose again. That's actually probably where she's at. So I'm doing my due diligence and trying to find her by going ahead and making sure she doesn't get behind on her streams. So yeah, no, we don't know where AJ is. I don't even know. That's my mom. I don't even know. But I will do my due diligence.
Store and bought a bottle of Southern Comfort. And then she went into Ames and bought 2 4-packs of wine coolers.
Why was Southern Comfort bought?
That's what I asked her to buy.
You asked her to buy it? And who the wine coolers for?
Pam, Cecilia.
After the alcohol was bought, what happened next?
Well, we went down. There's a place in Seabrook by the little school. It's called Spherex. It's a factory, and there's no one there at night. So we went down there, parked there, and we were just talking and drinking.
And it's you, the defendant, who else?
Cecilia Pierce.
How long were you there for?
45 minutes, an hour.
And you were drinking Southern Comfort?
Yes, I was.
Did you ever drink at Southern Comfort before?
Once before, and it was at least 5 months prior to.
So what happened after that?
Well, we were sitting in the car, and if you've ever had Southern Comfort, you know it's a rather, I don't know, sweet tasting alcohol. So it's, I don't know, it tastes like a, I don't know, it's like a Kool-Aid alcohol type of thing. It doesn't, it's really easy to drink. So I was drinking that, and we were just sitting in the car talking and stuff. So I didn't notice how drunk I was until I went outside to go to the bathroom, and then I noticed I was pretty drunk. So I got back in the car, and then I was sitting in the front passenger side seat. Pam was in my lap, and Cecilia was driving. And we went to Salisbury Beach, down where the arcades are and everything.
Anyone else that night?
Yeah, a friend of mine, Chris. I believe Danny Blake was with him. And that's all I remember who was with him.
Did you ever see JRP that night?
Yes, we did. That was after we came back from Salisbury Beach. We went to,
Salisbury Beach first?
yes, I believe so.
Why is it that you remember this?
Why do I remember this?
Right, why this particular night do you remember?
I was with Pam, and
And after you went to Salisbury Beach, where'd you go?
JR's house. We went down to JR's house to see if there's any parties tonight. And I got out of the car and I walked over and I was talking to him. I still had the bottle of Southern Comfort. And, I gave them some. And I was asking him, are there any parties tonight, or what are you guys doing tonight? And then Pam came over and she was talking to him.
So what did you do after that?
After we talked to him,
Yep.
we were gonna get some more Southern Comfort for PJR, but we went to the liquor store and it was closed, so we couldn't get anything. And I think me and Pam and Celia took off somewhere, and Pete and Jad took off someplace else.
Besides your physical relationship, do you express your feelings for each other in any other way?
Yeah, we wrote, notes back and forth to each other.
And how many notes did you write to the defendant?
Around 12 to 15.
How many notes did she write you?
About 12 to 15.
How would you get these notes?
Well, I'd write them in school or at my house that night, and when I went to the media center, I'd give them to her, and then like later on, she'd have one for me. She'd give it to me, and I'd read it later.
What was the content of these notes?
Love letters.
Without being too specific, can you give us some idea of the substance?
Well, they would like, just telling her, I loved her, and she'd, tell me she loved me. It's like the same thing, just different words.
What else?
Just, how she liked being with me, how she always wanted to be with me. Like that.
Sorry?
Like that.
Is it embarrassing for you to talk about these letters?
No, it's not embarrassing. Some of them were sexually explicit. That would be embarrassing.
How many sexually explicit letters did you get?
Some were, some weren't, like something just put in, but there was 3 in particular. I think it was a 3-page note, is what it was.
Did anyone else see these letters?
Yes. Sarah Thomas, Frank Daly, Pete and JR.
How did Pete and JR see these letters?
Well, I showed Pete and JR,
How did Sarah Thomas see these letters?
Well, Sarah and Pam were down JR's house one day, and I was changing the oil for them
Now,
on the cars.
whose car was oil being changed on?
Both of them. I changed Pam's oil, and I believe it was Ralph changed Sarah's oil.
Why don't you tell us, I'm not sure whether you told us this yesterday, who Sarah Thomas was?
She's a good friend of mine.
How long have you known Sarah Thomas?
I met her in Seabrook Junior High, so 3 or 4 years.
And can you tell us about this day when Sarah Thomas and Pam Smart were at JR's house?
All right, well, they came down to change the oil, to get the oil changed, and I was doing that, and I took my leather jacket off, and I put it on Pam's car, so it wouldn't get dirty when I was under her car, and Sarah asked me if she could wear it, and I said, yeah, and I forgot the notes were in there. So,
What happened after that?
well, she was wearing it, and I guess she found the notes, and she was reading them, and Frank saw her reading them, and Frank came up to her and he said, you shouldn't be reading those, Bill's gonna be pissed, you're not supposed to see those, and Frank came home and told me, Sarah read the note. Yeah, there was only one note in my pocket that time, and she came over to me and she said, I can't believe it. She said, I knew there was something going on between you two, and why didn't you tell me before, and all that, and after that, I had showed her 2 other notes.
You showed Sarah 2 of the notes?
Yeah.
Where did you show Sarah these other notes?
The library in the school.
Why did you show Sarah these notes?
Well, she asked to see them, and I don't know. She's like, I don't know. It was just, I liked. I wouldn't go around and show them to everybody or anything like that, but I just like showing them to people.
And how did JR and Pete see them? Show it to them? Frank Daly, you know about your relationship with the defendant?
Yes, you did.
I'd like to show you State's exhibits. Very small bag. that we could Did you check? I'd like to show you what's State's Exhibit 54 for identification. I'd ask you to take a look at that. You recognize that?
Yes, I do.
What do you recognize it to be?
Half of a letter Pam had given me.
How do you recognize this half a letter Pam had given you?
I remember the paper, and I know that there was more than this, because these are song lyrics to a song that she said reminded her of me.
Do you recognize the handwriting?
I recognize her S's, yes.
When was the last time how did you get this letter?
She handed it to me.
Where were you when she handed it to you?
Most likely the media center.
Why do you say most likely? You're not sure?
Well, sometimes she'd come up to my locker and give me the notes, but most of the time it was in the media center.
When was the last time you saw this note?
The last time I saw this was like 3-4 days ago.
When you saw it before testifying today, correct?
Yes.
What did you do with this note after you'd gotten it from Pam?
I kept it
Where'd you keep it?
in my room.
What happened to all the other notes you had gotten from Pam?
Well, when I had found out I was I was probably gonna be arrested, I got home from Connecticut, and my mother was coming out of the door as I was walking in. She said, she asked me if I needed a lawyer, and she said she wanted me to go up and talk to Kenny. And she said, go in your room, get everything out of your room that has link you to Pam. So I went in my room with a brown paper bag, and I went through it real quick, about 5 minutes, and I got everything in there I could find. Put it in the bag.
And what did you do with the stuff you put in the bag?
I gave it to my mother.
Do you remember seeing this letter that night when you grabbed the stuff in your room?
No, I don't. There was letters I grabbed, and there was passes from Pam, and there was a round metal medallion type of thing that I got at Salisbury Beach.
This time, Your Honor, the state would offer this letter as a full exhibit and ask that it be shown to the jury.
That's without objection. All right? Any matter for the
Okay. Let me just clarify the record. I refer to this as 54. It appears I misspoke. It's actually State's Exhibit number 55.
Are you asking if Billy Flynn's mom was charged with obstruction of justice? Give me 1 second. I don't.
Yeah, because she told him to go up to his room and get rid of anything that had to do with Pam.
Let me look it up.
I was just thinking about that as well. I was like, wonder if she got charged with anything.
I don't think anybody else. Linda, however you say her last name, I'm not even going to attempt to do that. No, wait, that's Pam Smart. I'm not seeing anything where she was. I don't quote me on that. I don't know for 100%.
Roy evidence?
I don't. Yeah, flashback. That's like the definition of tampering with evidence or obstruction of justice, that 100% would lead to that. So probably I don't know. I can't find anything to see that says one way or another. It actually goes, anytime I type anything in, it actually goes to Pam Smart's mom. So I can't see anything with Billy Flynn's mom. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. And then going back through the document. No, I think it was just Pam, Billy, the accomplices. I think that was all who was charged. Again, don't quote me on that. I could be missing something, but I'm pretty sure that's all who was charged.
You want me to continue?
Go ahead.
What was this medallion thing you were talking about that you threw out?
This Salisbury Beach, they have a few of these machines that put a quarter in, and there's letters around, and there's a dial in the middle, and you turn the dial, and point out what letter you want, and there's two levers. One lever you pull down, it stamps that letter onto the medallion, and the other one is you pull down when you're all finished. And
What did you do with this medallion?
what did I do with it?
I guess, let me rephrase that. What letters did you put on this medallion? Or who put any letters on this medallion?
The medallion said, Bill and Pam forever.
Who made this medallion?
Well, I had made one, and Pam had made one, and I believe this is the one I made.
You know what Pam's medallion said?
I think it said the same thing, Pam and Bill forever.
And you were with her when she made this?
Yes, it was.
Who else was present?
Cecilia Pierce.
Now, besides this medallion, passes and notes, were anything else in your room?
I know I had the directions that she had given me to memorize in there, and I probably grabbed those too.
I'd like to show you State's Exhibit 54.
Yeah, pictures.
Thank you. A through I. Ask you to take a look at these. Tell me if you recognize them.
Yeah. These are pictures I got from Pam.
Can you speak up? I didn't hear you.
These are pictures I got from Pam.
Now, when did you ever first see pictures of this nature?
Of this nature or these pictures?
What I mean is, when did you first see these photographs?
Before February 5th.
How was it that you saw them?
Pam brought them to the media center. Well, she told me she had taken them, brought the roll of film to the media center because I told her Kenny Knight owns a photo place, and I said I can get maybe them done for free, but for at least 60% off or something. So she said, all right.
Yes, you speak just a little slower and a little closer to the mic. So then what happened? After you said you could get them developed cheaper.
Well, she gave me the roll, and I took it. I gave it to my mother to give to Kenny. And I told her, Pam wants these pictures developed. So she said, all right, gave it to Kenny. Kenny developed them, and
After you developed, then what happened?
after we developed them, and Kenny told me they were ready because it's like a 1-hour photo place. But we went back the next day. Pam drove me up, and we got the pictures back from Kenny. And I remember we were looking through the pictures in the car, and I remember Pam was laughing. She thought she didn't think they came out good. And when she brought them to show Tracy brought them back the next day, and she said she didn't want them. She's just going to throw them out. And if I wanted them, I could have them. I said, all right. Cecilia Pierce had a couple too.
How many pictures did she give you?
I don't know, 15.
What did you do with those pictures?
I kept them.
Sorry?
I kept them.
Then, after you kept them, where are they now?
Well, I'm pretty sure I put them in the bag and gave it to my mom, and she got rid of the bag.
So these pictures here are not, as far as you know, the actual pictures you had.
I'm gonna object, Your Honor. There's no foundation for that, no.
Can I approach you? Mr. Flynn, these poses and photographs that I've shown you is 54A through I. Have you seen these poses of the defendant before?
I've seen those photographs before, yes.
And the photographs you've seen before, are they exactly the same as these photographs I have in my hand?
Yes, sir.
Is that true for each photograph you've seen here?
Yes, it is.
Could you take a moment and go through each one? Now, the photographs that the defendant gave you and asked you if you wanted them, how many did she give you in total?
Let's say there's about between 12 and 15.
Now, there's 9 photographs here. Besides these 9 photographs, you saw an additional 3 to 6?
Yeah.
Your Honor, I would move these in as a full exhibit at this time.
Without objection.
All right.
Sir? Sure. Now, Bill, when you were hanging out with the defendant, why was Cecilia Pierce with you?
Well, Pam said it'd be less suspicious if somebody saw us together if Cecilia was there. Because if they saw us together alone, it'd be more suspicious.
Now, besides the time when Cecilia Pierce was there, you spent time with the defendant when Cecilia wasn't there.
Before or after May 1st.
Well, I mean, the times you were at the Salisbury Reservation in the ballpark.
Yeah, Cecilia wasn't there then.
Now, when you were in front of Cecilia Pierce, did you do anything to hide your relationship with the defendant?
In front of Cecilia? No.
How about JR and Pete?
No.
How about Tracy?
Yes.
Who was Tracy?
Pam's friend.
And why did you hide the relationship in front of Tracy?
Because Pam didn't want Tracy to know.
Did she say why she didn't want Tracy to know?
Well, Tracy's friends with Greg, and because if after May 1st, if Tracy knew that me and Pam were seeing each other, I could be brought up.
So the entire time up until your arrest, you never acted like a boyfriend or girlfriend in front of Tracy.
No.
What about any other friends of Pam?
After May 1st, when she moved down into Hampton, one of her friends came over. Don't remember her name, but we couldn't act boyfriend and girlfriend in front of her. And before May 1st, another one of her friends had come down with Tracy, and I don't remember her name either.
Now, did you ever receive any presents from the defendant?
And on my birthday, she got me a subscription to a guitar magazine.
How did you get subscription to Guitar Magazine?
Well, I came over her office, and she said, guess what I got you and everything like that. And she showed me, she said she wanted to get me this bracelet, gold nugget bracelet, but, Greg would freak out if he saw $500 missing from the bank account. So, and she put the subscription in Cecilia's name so it couldn't be traced back to her.
How do you know she did that?
She told me.
But why was she afraid of it being traced back to her?
After May 1st, if the police found out that, she was giving presents to some kid named Bill Flynn, they'd probably want to go question Bill Flynn.
Were there any other attempts by the defendant to cover up your relationship?
No, we just never did anything in front of people.
Did you cover up attempts in March?
I don't
You
think.
can't remember anything?
No.
No?
No.
Now, when did you first see the defendant? Well, let me back up. The day after the murder, what did you do?
The day after the murder, I went to school because I thought it'd be suspicious if I didn't. I thought I was paranoid. I thought everything was suspicious.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
Well, I went to school
And why did you go to school?
because I thought that if I wasn't there, then it would look suspicious. But it's probably more suspicious that I was there.
And what about JR? Did he go to school?
Yes, he did.
What about Pete?
People went to school too, I believe.
And what happened at school?
Well, in the morning, Frank Daly came up and he said, did you guys do it last night? And we said, yeah. We told him, yeah. Then second period science class, me and Jay were in there, and Frank's in there too. Miss Kinsman came in and said, Bill, Vance, can I talk to you guys for a minute?
Who was Miss Kingsman?
Guidance counselor at Lincoln High School.
And what happened then?
Well, me and Jay went with her, and Cecilia and Rachel were already with her. We went to the guidance office, into the conference room in the guidance office. And she said Gregg's husband was, Pam's husband was killed last night.
Did you say how he was killed?
No, she said they didn't know.
What happened then?
We said, she said that, I think that we should go to the wake and, just support Pam. And, we said, yeah. So we didn't want to say, no, we're not going to the wake. And she thought that would look suspicious.
Did you want to go to the wake?
No, I did not.
And what happened at school?
Well, in the morning, Frank Daly came up and he said, did you guys do it last night? And we said, yeah. We told him, yeah. Then second period science class, me and Jay were in there, and Frank's in there too. Miss Kinsman came in and said, Bill, Vance, can I talk to you guys for a minute?
Who was Miss Kingsman?
Guidance counselor at Lincoln High School.
And what happened then?
Well, me and Jay went with her, and Cecilia and Rachel were already with her. We went to the guidance office, into the conference room in the guidance office. And she said Gregg's husband was, Pam's husband was killed last night.
Did you say how he was killed?
No, she said they didn't know.
What happened then?
We said, she said that, I think that we should go to the wake and, just support Pam. And, we said, yeah. So we didn't want to say, No, we're not going to the wake, and she thought that would look suspicious.
Do you want to go to the wake?
No, I did not.
Did you go to the wake?
Yes, I did.
Did you see the defendant at the wake?
Yeah, Pam was there.
Who'd you go to the wake with?
Miss Kinsman, Cecilia, Vance, and myself.
Now, how many days after the murder of Gregory Smart did you go to the wake?
It was either the day after or the day after that.
And before you had gotten to the wake, did you talk to the defendant at all?
Before I went to the wake? No, I did not.
Did you talk to him at the wake?
Briefly, yes.
Can you tell us what happened at that time?
Well, I walked up to Pam and Miss Kinsman, Cecilia, and JR, and myself, and Miss Kinsman was saying, we're really sorry, Pam. That's what we were saying, and
You started to mumble a little bit, so I can't hear you.
all right, well, we just said, we're sorry about what happened and everything, and then kind of broke away, and then afterwards she came up to me and Jan, and she said, I can't believe you guys came to the wake when we walked in the door. And I think she said she was shitting bricks
And where was this conversation?
at the wake.
I know, but where in the wake was it?
Well,
Outside, inside?
inside.
Now, what was the plan after the murder of Gregory Smart between you and the defendant?
Well, Pam was going to get the insurance money, and she was going to buy a condo closer to me, so we could be together.
And what did you know about the insurance money?
At that time, my understanding was that there was one insurance.
Barbara, thank you so much for coming in here and chatting with us and always showing your love and support to my mom's channel that I have now hacked because my mom is missing. We'll find her. She's fine. But I hope you have a great rest of your night at work and great weekend, and we will see you soon. Thank you again.
Insurance policy for $90,000.
And did that understanding ever change?
Yeah, like a week after May 1st, Pam had came into school and walked up to me and JR at my locker, and she said, hi, how's it going and everything like that. And she said, what she said was, don't worry about anything. Everything's going according to plan. People are telling me that I should move out of the house. So I'm going to find a condo down here, just like we said.
What did she say about the insurance money?
Oh, she said she couldn't believe it, that there was 2 insurance policies, one for $90 and one for $50, so it was $140,000.
Did there come a time the defendant moved closer to you?
Yes.
Do you know when that was?
The date?
Time period, roughly?
It was around the end of May.
Do you have any discussions with the defendant of what she was supposed to do on the night of May 1st after going to the meeting?
After going to the meeting?
Right, what was she supposed to do when she got home? Did you ever discuss that with her?
Oh, yeah. She had asked us how to react, and we told her, well, when you go in there and you see him, it's going to be a natural reaction. So I said, don't even think about it. Don't even, worry about it. I mean, she told me that night when she got home, she couldn't bring herself to cry.
When did she tell you that?
It wasn't at the wake, and I don't think it was at that time of the lockers. It was sometime after that. She said she just kept asking for handling.
Did there come a time, let me rephrase that. What information, if any, did you have about what the police were doing?
Pam told me that, she couldn't get the insurance money until there was like, an investigation done that shows she wasn't guilty. And she said the police don't have a clue. They think it was a messed up burglary, just like we said. They don't suspect her.
And when was this conversation?
It was either at the lockers that first time after May 1st or sometime very close after that when she came back to work.
Did the defendant ever discuss what she was going to do with the insurance money?
Yeah, she was going to use it to pay for the condo when she moved closer to me. And she was going to buy a new car.
What kind of car?
She wanted either Camaro or TA,
TA.
Trans Am.
Did you ever go looking for any of these cars with the defendant?
A few times.
Can you tell us about any of those times?
One time was at Traer Holloway where Jazz's mother works.
Who went with you on that time?
Well, we were in Gregg's truck. Me, Pam, and Michelle Nichols were in the front. It's Jazz's girlfriend. And Jan and Pete were in the back.
And what happened at Drew Holloway?
Traer Holloway. Well, we went there and looking around for cars. And I remember that because they have a barrel there. And they've got all, lollipops in it. And we were in the showroom waiting for a salesman to come out that Jazz's mother has, requested. And Pam came over and asked me if, she said, go get me a lollipop, like that. And I didn't know if she just wanted me to get her one or if she was like, I don't know, trying to not act bossy, but I don't know, just being like sarcastic in front of Pete.
Now, this was happening at the dealership?
Yeah.
Remember what time of year this was?
What time of year?
Was it after May 1st?
Yeah, it was after May 1st.
You know how long after May 1st it was?
Not that long. I think it's before she moved into the new condo.
And when she told you to get this lollipop, why did you resist?
Because I thought she was just, like saying, go do this for me.
Let me ask you this. Speak a little more.
Hey, see you later, Sticky. Thank you so much for sticking around, hanging out with us, all the love and support that you do with our channel and stuff, always making us laugh. So I hope you have a great rest of your evening. Try not to get in too much trouble. And as we say here, we only have enough bail money for Gabby. Apparently, if I went to jail, we don't have enough bail money for that. My mom just like, nope, we're bailing Gabby out. So don't get in trouble because we can't bail you out. And we will see you later.
Clearly in the microphone. It's getting hard to hear some of the things you're saying. And then what happened?
Well, I said, no, I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to, I don't know what I say, show, you just want me to go do this for you in front of Pete, you know what I mean?
And what did she say to that?
She said, like, fine, be that way, like that. And, I don't know, she was mad, but she wasn't that mad right then. But, then, when we got back to JR's house, Pete and JR and Mickey got out, and Pam went down to this one place we used to go in Seabrook. It's a dead-end road, and when the road ends, it goes out, like the marsh is right in front of you. So we used to drive down there because no one ever goes down there.
And what happened when you got down to the marshy area?
Well, when we got down there, Pam brought up the lollipop thing again. She said, she was mad. She said, you don't love me. If you did, you would have got.
Bill, you seem to be moving a little bit when you're talking, and something's going to the microphone, something's still. So what did she say to you?
She said, you don't love me. If you did, you would have got that form. And I told her, I said, well, to me, it looked like you were just, this thing shocks me, trying to be sarcastic.
Sorry.
And,
Too close, I guess.
And, like that, so we got into a fight. And,
How did the fight end?
well, she dropped me off at JR's house. Right, and she was still mad, and I was mad. So I went down to JR's house, they were in the driveway, and, I was pretty mad. And, So then she drove up again. She beeped the horn. So I went back up there, and she said, I was this close to taking back my last month's rent at the condo, and just not moving down here anymore, and that would be it between us, like that. And she asked me if that's what I wanted, and I said no. And then I apologized for not getting her a lollipop.
I'm going to interrupt now. We're going to break for lunch. It's over 1 o'clock.
All right, so that ends part 2 of 3 with Billy Flynn's testimony. That was interesting. I mean, to see how honest he was, and good for him. And I mean, the grooming is very apparent in this.
Well, I mean, she was acting like the child too. There at the end, she's like, "Well, you don't love me because if you did, you would have gotten me a lollipop." Like, get real, lady.
Yeah, there's a thing where apparently, like, before the unaliving of her husband, Gregg Smart, happened, she was like, well, I'm going to withhold, I'm not going to have intimate relations with you anymore if you don't do this. And just kind of belittled him. And yeah, actually, this poor kid was definitely manipulated. He's not innocent. That's what we were talking about earlier. Consequences for your actions, but yes, 100% manipulated. Are we going tomorrow? I don't know. We haven't gotten that far yet.
Oh, this one too. What Ronnie said up here.
I didn't see that.
She even instructed them for them how to react.
Oh yeah, I
Like,
did see them.
That's crazy.
It's just, I'm glad that they're out now, but just hearing the testimony, I'm glad that she's not.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just grooming to white teeth, and it's gross. Like, don't do that. Don't do that to kids. But yeah, Flashman, to answer your question, I'm just winging this. Like, I wasn't even gonna stream today, and then I was like, yeah, I'm trying to get through these. I'm trying to get them back to back to back because there is 3 of them with his testimony, so there isn't too much time in between, and it's kind of all flows together. But we haven't quite decided yet. We don't really know what's going on yet if we're gonna do this tomorrow. But we will definitely be back on Monday at 6 p.m. and keep it going. But I do want to say thank you guys so much for hanging out. I know that I've really thrown this schedule off. I'm trying to help my mom out a little bit, trying to get through these, make sure, doesn't take too long, and doesn't take longer than what it needs to be. I know Betty was a very, very long trial, and I'm not saying anything bad about that, but you know what? My mom's missing, and probably, like I said, putting the lotion on the skin or getting the hose again right now. So what's she gonna do? She ain't here. But again, thank you guys so much. The only thing I do ask you guys to do, I'm actually going to redirect to Squid. Let me make sure that she is still alive. Squid showed us some love yesterday, and so I want to thank her. So if you guys could just go over there, say hi, hit that like button, I would really, really appreciate it. I love Squid's channel. Again, she showed us love, so I want to show some love back. So other than that, I will see you all later.
Bye.
Guilty innocent, the jury calls, echoes rising through the halls. Listen, Pam Smart, history calls, another name upon the wall. Stories fade, but lessons stay. Truth and consequence on display. A darker path that led astray. Like and subscribe before you go. Grateful you joined me for the show. Like and subscribe.